after 6 consecutive YouTube community posts, a few live streams, and a little tweets here and there, and a whole bunch of me playing Ragnarok and beating that game for like 2 weeks straight. I've decided to come back with a Xenoverse movement video, which, if I'm being honest, this most likely is my last movement video, and this is also my third one. The last one that I did was a little bit over a year ago, and then the one before that was like 2 years ago. I'm obviously a lot better at the game now compared to before, obviously, but this video is going to be very similar to my 5 tips video that I uploaded a few months ago. It's going to be broken down into 5 different categories so I can explain it to you guys as best as I can. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get right into it. One of the first things that I want to talk about, honestly, that I feel like goes underlooked by like majority of the community is being a player that keystuns versus a player that doesn't keystun. Now, I'm not talking about it being like cheap or anything. When I say that, I mean like you tend to a lot of people, myself honestly is one of them, where I'm a player that keystuns, and if I'm not keystunning in a match, my movement is severely thrown off balance. And it can be the same for vice versa. If you were someone who doesn't keystun and then you tried keystunning, your movement would be totally off balance. Unless you were someone who was really experienced with both sides and you know to keystun and have good movement, and you could be someone who doesn't keystun and have good movement. But the best way, in my opinion, for you to really practice and get used to both sides is to fight like a friend or someone you know who's really good with movement without one or the other. Or you could just practice in solo matches or even training mode at that. Either way, your movement is guaranteed to get better. The second thing that I want to talk about isn't necessarily underlooked, but it doesn't really come to mind with a lot of people. And that second thing is that when you get poisoned / slowed down, you're gonna want to really slow down your movement, because a lot of people, what they tend to do is they'll get slowed down or like poisoned, and then they'll tend to like try to keep up with the opponent, and that is one of the worst things you could possibly do, because not only is your stamina coming up a lot slower, but you're really slowed down. Like getting hit with a slowed down like super soul or like super attack or even an ultimate, for example, it makes you a lot slower than you think. Your side steps are a lot shorter, you have a lot less reach, and your character is a lot slower with the combos. So the best thing that you could do is play defensive and just be as flow state as possible. You're going to want to make sure that you're really not doing the most when you're slowed down. Now, I feel like the third thing is probably one of the most important things that I could really talk about in this video, because this can classify for like any character, and this is really mainly aimed towards the people that use like characters that you can choose, but 90% of the time you're going to get outmatched or outclassed by someone else because they're using the better character. Now, say for example, I'm on like a female Saiyan, right? And I'm going up against a male Saiyan. That male Saiyan is going to have way more priority and movement options than I do. You know, he's gonna have more reach, he's gonna be a lot faster and be a lot quicker, and he has more cancels than me. And this also kind of ties into how what I said before, when I said you have to basically take your time and be as swift as possible with your movement, because honestly, situations like these, movement is the only thing that's gonna get you out of the situation or get you the win in that particular point in time. If you're sloppy on your movement and you're not doing anything right, and you're just sidestepping and vanishing and key stunning wrong, you're not hitting the right key stuns, that right there is a big part of the reason why a lot of people lose on lesser characters. It's very easy, not necessarily easy, but it's very possible. Your chances are way higher when your movement is up to par when you're going up against someone who has the better character. It's just facts. It's just how it works. The fourth thing that I wanted to talk about is like something that not even half the community like even really knows. Now, there are super souls in the game that actually slow your character down and speed your character up without the game even telling you. Now, I'm not gonna go over every single super soul in the game that does this because obvious reasons the video would be way too long. So I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to do on your own. But a lot of this are at least a few or some of the super souls that I do know that speed you up and slow you down are our two strengths, which is base Gogeta's super soul from the DLC. I forgot what DLC it was, but it's the DLC super soul that base Gogeta has. That super soul actually speeds your character up and like removes a lot of weight off your character. And then you have certain super souls that literally add weight to your character, which makes your character a lot slower, which in return makes it to where your movement is going to be a lot more sluggish, or if you're using a faster super soul, it's going to make your character a lot more fast. It's just certain things, like small things like that, go underlooked. Another super soul that I know that does slow down your character a lot is Frieza super soul. It gives you super armor. What's it called? I think it's the natural super soul, the unnatural, or any taller it will be unnatural. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And that super soul, literally, it doesn't tell you, but it literally slows your character down. Like I'm telling you, like I tell people all the time, like, yeah, super souls, a lot of the super souls, they don't tell you, but a lot of the super souls slow your character down and speed your character up. It's just up to you to use a super soul in photo mode or in training mode or whatever to figure out and see which super souls are, you know, bad and good. And the last and final thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was pretty much play/practice all forms of playstyles. So you could play really overly aggressive or really overly defensive without key stunning and key stunning. Either way works. Whichever one you do mainly, do the opposite and play really overly aggressive or really overly defensive, right? And what this is gonna do is pretty much is gonna train your mind to get used to all movement styles, with meaning you're going to be, once you master this, I haven't even mastered this myself, as long as I've been playing this game, I haven't even mastered this myself. If you master this, your movement is always going to be good. Why? Because if you need to play defensive, you can play defensive perfectly. If you need to play offense, you can play offense perfectly. You're going to be able to fight against people that have these play styles and do good. And I already know a lot of people are going to overlook this. Like, come on, Coin, you really can't be saying movement is going to be, you know, this good once you master it. I'm telling you guys this right now. Movement is a big part of the reason why a lot of people are beating a lot of people. If you have good movement, and if you can keep that sharp movement, that flow state of just continuously doing the correct sidestep, just a simple sidestep will take you a long way. If you're good at if you're just good at in general with sidestepping, that'll take you a very long way. That'll take you very far. It'll take you very far compared to doing all the combos and everything. Throw everything else out the window. Movement is a big part of the reason why a lot of people are good now. It is a big part of the reason. And with all of that being said, hopefully it helped out a few of you with this video. If you want to watch more of these type of videos, I have a few more videos posted. I will post them in a link in the description. Make sure to comment, like, share, subscribe, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a good one.